I think we'll go ahead and get started here. We got a lot of ground to cover. If you haven't finished eating, please continue to do so. First off, we'll ask our chaplain, Will Barnes, if he would offer a blessing for us.
Turn on the mic, John. Yeah.
I thought it was on.
Okay, we can't see you over the podium anyway.
Just bring $5 with that comment. Okay, Will, if you would, please.
Thank you.
Please stand.
Gracious God, we thank you that you have blessed us in 1,000 different ways that we're often totally unaware of. You're there and you bless us anyway. And on this day, we pray for a special blessing upon the Grand Marshal, for the St. Patrick's Day Parade, and all of his entourage.
Now, first off, we're going to introduce guests who are here for the first time. We've started this table over here. Any guests here for the first time?
All members.
There's one old man sitting over there, and I know Joe Eberwine. Joe, stand up so people can see you who you are. All right, Joe Eberwine. Thank you, Joe. All right, go ahead, Garlana.
I have a very dear friend with me today from Atlanta, Georgia, Ellen Waller.
Very good, thank you. Steve?
I'd like to introduce my good friend Patty McKenna.
Okay. Thank you.
I have my wife Carolyn, and I have Paul Thurston, who just turned in his application as membership.
All right. Okay. Steve, right here at this table.
First time guest would be Sister Lillian and Dee Kramer.
Very good. All right, very good. First off, up at the head table, I'd like to introduce first the General Chairman of the St. Patrick's Day Parade Committee, Jerry Hogan, and have Jerry introduce some of his members of the committee here. Jerry?
Thank you very much, Mr. McKenna, and thank you all for having us. Mr. President, thank you very much for having us here. I've been on the executive committee for 12 years now, and I go around to all the lunches, and I'm going to tell you what, the Lions is without a doubt our favorite. You guys, y'all treat us with such tremendous hospitality. Y'all feed us good, and we sure appreciate it. But my name is Jerry Hogan. I'm the General Chairman of the St. Patrick's Day Parade Committee. The man of the hour is going to be introduced here in just a second by Mr. McKenna, but before he does that, I want to introduce a couple of my officers who are with us today. I've got two of my officers here today. First of all is Mark Corrigan. Mark Corrigan's our adjutant, and that means on the day of the parade, he is in charge of everything that's on the street. So he's got one of the most important positions on our committee. Second officer is Secretary Bubba Edgerly. Bubba Edgerly is the favorite nephew of his favorite aunt, Sheila Berry, who's not here today, I understand. But we appreciate her. Usually she's here to greet us. Yep. She's not able to be here today. And also I got a couple of parade committee members that are Lions that I'd like to point out. First of all, Tim Ansley. I saw Tim walk in. Tim's very special to us. He's a past adjutant and a past Grand Marshal. He's adjutant for what, 5 years, 6 years, Tim?
So long ago, I forgot.
Does he get fined for not knowing how many years he was adjutant? I'm showing here that you were 5 years as adjutant, Tim, and of course the 2012 Grand Marshal. Jimmy Ray, right now, he's also a past Grand Marshal. And Tim, I guarantee you he knows how many years he was General Chairman. Twice? 97, 98?
Yes.
Okay. And also Mr. Joe, Mark Walter. He's a parade committee member. We appreciate you having us here, Joe. And with that said, I'm going to turn it back over to the High Leprechaun.
Fellow Lions and guests, please extend a warm welcome to our 192nd St. Patrick's Day Parade Grand Marshal, Michael Foran. Mike.
Thank you all for having us here. I won't keep it too long. I know everyone has a job. I'd like to introduce my aides. I have 12 of them, but not all of them could come. Father Patrick O'Brien, we were looking for. He's my chaplain, but evidently he had a call to go somewhere else for spiritual reasons. I've got my good friend Michael Carbo, another good friend Dennis Coonahan, my friend Marty Hogan, very good friend, Jay Blackburn. I would just want to thank you guys. I've been coming to this luncheon for years on the executive committee staff, and what y'all do for the community is just unbelievable. You know, I told my wife this year, I said, now make sure you get your tree at the Christmas tree at the Lions Club. And it seems like the next time we rode by there, all the trees were gone, and y'all, it was just unbelievable. And I found out tonight that John said y'all actually go up and select each tree. So I think that's great. And I also want to thank y'all for inviting us to the John McKenna chapter of this club. Where's that leprechaun? I know he's around here somewhere. And I'm sure John's going to have some questions about leprechauns to y'all later. But my hat's off to these guys. You know, I've done it. You've got to love it. You don't do this to have something hanging in your wall in your office. It's something that our fathers have done, our grandfathers have done. In 192 years, that is just, it's just amazing to me. And, they paraded before that, but that's more or less what we can document. Soldiers would meet and march, but it's just amazing to have it that long. And Mark Corrigan, he has a tough job that day because everyone that comes to our parade, they're our guests. Not only our guests, but they're also our sponsors. And they don't have a clue half the time. Somebody else sold the float, and they don't know what they're supposed to do. So these guys have got to be there. They go to breakfast at 6 o'clock in the morning, start checking people in at 7, and everybody wants to know why they can't be first. And it's like, and they call me, and I guarantee you they've called all these guys, what's my number? Oh, we don't know what your number is. And it's all about St. Patrick. It's all about our patron St. Patrick. So anyway, I'll leave you. Tell Norman, I guess he's gone, but the food was great, fantastic. Probably the best meal we've had all week. Thank you very much.
Great God, man.
Stand up, guys. Stand up.
All right, we're going to get to the serious part of this process. And it's known, I label this part of the program every year, it's known as the extraction process. And that is folding money only, and green is the color. So we will start. I had some, prior to this year, I was a tail twister, and I gave it up last year. And for somehow, things just fell apart after I left. Look at this guy in the back. But anyways, during the year now, what's happened is these tail twisters have gotten up, and the first one almost they call on is me. They just want to get back at me, every year. But I keep telling them year round, the day of reckoning is coming. And here we are, the day of reckoning has arrived. So now, Steve Thompson, Bard Way, Joe Mark Walter, oh yes, Susan, I hadn't forgot you back there hiding. Stand up, and the fine for y'all will be a little bit different from the others. It'll be $2, please. Now, we're going to start off with a little story here. Most Irish people, they believe in ghosts. Did you know that? If you're not a true Irishman, if you don't believe in ghosts. That's right. Now, this story happened a while ago in Dublin, Ireland. There was a guy named Jimmy Ray, was in Dublin,
Happened to be.
and was on the side of the road hitchhiking on a very dark night in the midst of a big storm. The storm was so strong he could hardly see a few feet in front of him. Suddenly he saw a car coming towards him and it stopped. Jimmy, desperate for shelter and without thinking about it, jumped into the car and closed the door. Only then did he realize there was nobody behind the wheel and the engine wasn't on. The car started moving slowly. Jimmy looked at the road ahead and saw a curve approaching. Scared to death, he started to pray, begging for his life. Then just before the car hit the curve, a hand appeared out of nowhere through the window and turned the wheel. Jimmy was paralyzed with terror, watched as his hand came through the window, but it never touched him and it didn't harm him. Shortly thereafter, he saw the lights of a pub appear down the road, so gathering strength, he jumped out of the car and ran to the pub. Wet and out of breath, he rushed inside and started telling everybody about the horrible experience he had just had. A silence enveloped in the pub when everybody realized Jimmy was crying and he wasn't drunk. Suddenly the door opened and two other people walked in from the dark and stormy night. They, like Jimmy, were also soaked and out of breath. Looking around and seeing Jimmy Ray sobbing at the bar, Tim Ansley said to his buddy, look, Patty, there's that idiot that jumped into the car while we were pushing it. You know, Mike told you about the Irish heritage. I want to bring one thing to light out of this on the side. This year, the Irish are celebrating their 100th landmark struggle for their independence. And it's known as the Easter Rising of 1916. The Easter Rising was based on the words, "Ireland unfree shall never be at peace." Irish patriots rose to resist the bonds of the British control and to end the British rule in Ireland. So that'll be going on, you'll hear from time to time in the next several months, but it's a tidbit that wanted you to appreciate the struggle that's going on over there for quite some time. And some people think it's still going on over there. Now, Lion Kurt Knight. Kurt.
Oh, yes, sir.
The Easter Rising, known as the Easter Rebellion, was an armed insurrection in Ireland which began on Easter Monday, April 24th, 1916. How long a time did the uprising last? Hint, I'll give you a hint, it was less than a month. Less than a month.
Couple of weeks.
Couple of weeks. Couple of weeks is 14 days.
14 days.
That's close, but it lasted 6 days. It lasted from Monday till Saturday of that year, in which the British troops crushed the Irish rebellion. Now, goddamn, Alicia, where's Alicia? Alicia, what was the numerical size of the Irish nationalists that launched the Easter Rising in Dublin? These were a group of people, they were expecting about 5,000 to show up in this, but how many showed up? I'll tell you, give you a hint. It was greater than 1,200, but less than 2,000.
1,575.
Very good. If you added 25 more to that, you would have got it. But that's okay. Will, where did the potato blight in the 1840s, which led to the famine in Ireland, originate? In Ireland, England, Turkey, or the United States? You said it's Ireland? No, it actually it started in the United States. You what? You didn't know that?
You are correct.
That's right. There you go. You learned fast. He hadn't caught on yet. Okay. John, where's John Hurd? John's still here? Oh, let's see. John, who introduced the potato to Ireland? It was Sir somebody. Yeah. Give me to somebody. First name was Walter.
He's still in the
Is she fair game over there?
Have at it.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure. John, did you get it? Jay, stand up and tell him who it is.
Sir Walter Raleigh.
There you go. And Jay, you can contribute $1 too for being a wise man.
John, I think Jay's incorrect. I think it was Idaho.
In honor of Milton Newton, I'm glad to contribute.
Yes, sir. Give it to him. Okay, thank you. Jay must have had to get, Jay's a lawyer. He must have had to get some stuff through the MPC to get to us for Milton,
I
okay.
actually used to be an employee of Milton.
Oh, is that right?
He was deputy director.
Oh, I'll be doggone. Okay. Chuck Rowell. Chuck.
The answer's blue.
That's right, if you want the color, but that's not what I want.
But you always want.
Okay. The founder of the American Navy was born in Ireland. Who was he? John O'Leary, John Barry, John Paul Jones, or John Bull? I'll give you a hint. He was born in the city of Wexford, and his first name is John. What's the name? John Paul Jones. Nope. Who said no over here? She said no? Did you see the way Kurt said that, man? He wouldn't have no part of that.
Been married to a Navy man for 20-some years.
Okay.
John Perry.
But John,
Barry.
John, no, it's Barry. Not B-E, it's B-A.
That's what's-
Oh, that's what you said, okay. Okay. All right. Talking about the Navy, a conversation went something like this. A first voice came out and said, "Our radar has you on a collision course with us. Alter your course 10 degrees south." A second voice came back and said, "We have you on your radar. Suggest you alter course 10 degrees north." First voice came back and said, "We have Admiral Pemberton Smart on board. Strongly urge you alter course 10 degrees south. This is a battleship." Second voice came back and said, "This is Seaman's O'Shaughnessy. Still suggest you bear 10 degrees north. This is the lighthouse." You hear a lot of talk about immigration. The other day, O'Shea was stopped in the immigration section of Kennedy Airport and was asked if he was a natural-born Irish subject. O'Shea said no by cesarean section. Adam, that's you, buddy.
I almost flew in under the radar.
Yeah, you did. What percent of the Irish population have red hair? I tell you, it's under 10%.
7%.
I'm pointing to it so you can read it.
I try not to cheat, because you're going to get me anyway.
Yeah, I would. I'd have got you twice. But just one time. This is 4%.
That's risk mitigation.
Yeah, 4%. Okay, pay Steve. Where's John Walsh? Did John come?
You wouldn't catch me staring at those notes.
John,
Couldn't read them anyway.
where was Irish coffee invented? Was it in San Francisco, New York, Boston, or Savannah? In Boston? Is that what you said? Suppose I told you that wasn't correct.
I suppose I'll be paying $1.
Yeah, that's right. No suppose about it.
He's a
It was
quick learner.
it was in San Francisco. Where's Tim Kelly? Tim? St. Patrick wasn't really Irish at all. Is that true or false?
That's false.
That's false. That, your answer is false. He was really true.
He was
It's really
born
true.
in England,
He was where?
born in England.
We get a,
Kidnapped,
no,
taken to Ireland.
no. He was not born in England. He's not English subject.
Wales.
Huh?
She said Wales.
What you bringing the nun in on this for? You think that's going to help you? I knew her long before she took her vows, man, so don't tell me about all that. Okay, you sticking with England?
I thought it was England, and then he got kidnapped and taken to Ireland.
Yeah, but we talking about when he was born.
Oh,
Well, but that's a true statement you said there, but that doesn't answer the question. Tim, it's really, it's a true statement. He wasn't Irish at all. Well, since you know so much, where was he born? What place? What's his birthplace? What country?
I don't know, I just knew it was England. I thought it was England.
Who said something? What'd you say? You said Italy? No. He was born in Scotland. Now, if I were to ask you who his father was, you would have told me he was an Italian, and that would have been right. So, get $1 for it. So I?
Oh, no, I was just saying I knew he was born in Scotland.
You're way too close to him.
He was born in, he was born in Scotland. You knew that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's see if you know this.
Oh, God.
Which state has the most Irish descendants? Which state? It's a western state. I'll give you a hint. Way west. Way west.
California?
Exactly. Part B. Part B. That is, how many Irishmen are in California?
480,962.
Times what? There's close to 5 million Irishmen in Irish descendants in California. Heather, which state has the largest proportion of Irish Americans? Which state? It's a northern state, northeastern state. The largest proportion, you know that's a percentage, okay? Massachusetts, what's the percentage rate?
I would say 49.
Well, the last time, let's see, I did this in 2007. I got 40%, but now it's 51%, so, yeah. I don't know whether it's 51%, but I know it ain't 49, I know that. Diane. First off, I want to thank Diane very much for all the decorations that we got on the table. Now, part B. That is, which state tax the Irish for being Irish? Tax the Irish just for being Irish. It's a northern state, not as far north as Massachusetts, but it's northern than Charlotte, North Carolina. New York? No, not New York. New York wouldn't do that. New York opened the doors and let them in. It was Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania. Tim Ansley. Yay. What kind of stuff is that? Okay. In the United States, Maine is the state nearest in size to Ireland. That's a given fact. Wait a minute, Tim. How'd this guy last 5 years as a this guy? Yeah, there you go. All right, Maine is the state nearest in size. How wide is it, north to south?
211.
No, I was going to give you a range better than that. I'll go ahead and help you a hint.
Okay.
You're so quick on the. Between 226 and 406. The range is between 226 and 406. How wide is it?
276.
Nope. You want to guess again for another $1?
No.
Yeah. You know that one, Jay? You don't know that one, eh? Okay. It's 302 miles.
No.
2 years ago, it was 303.
Jimmy, how many U.S. presidents have all or part Irish ancestry? I'll help you. It's between 0 and 25.
That's a lot of help.
Don't get smart. 8? Want to guess again? Double that. Huh?
16.
Plus 2.
18.
Eventually he catches on, you know. Everybody forgive me. Who haven't we? Edwina. Edwina? Irish pubs are closed only on 2 days a year. I'm not going to ask you to name the days. I'm going to tell you which ones they are. It's Good Friday and Christmas. Now, with that vast knowledge, I want you to tell me how many pubs are in the Republic of Ireland. A, 1463, B, 3596, C, 9939, and D, 10,122.
Well, I was in a couple of them. I didn't get them all, so I'll say C.
You say C? A, B, C. C says 9939. That was right back in 2007 when I did it. But today it's not. Okay. There she is. Bernadette. No, I'm looking at you, Bernadette. You ready to get started?
Whenever you are, we're good. They enjoy listening to you.
Yeah.
You get over that.
Yeah. Let's, yeah.
No.
Let me. Hey, are any of you young ladies in Mrs. Massaris' class? Any of you take Mrs. Massaris? Okay, well, let me tell you what to do. When you go back to school, you tell her that I, the head leprechaun of the Lions Club, said you to have free homework for 1 week. And if she has a problem with that, tell her to see Bernadette.